What are sponsors in cybersecurity? I was sharing with a client that information just yesterday, the value of having a sponsor. So first of all, what is a sponsor? I can almost hear you asking that question. So I did a little bit of research. Merriam-Webster defines sponsors as one who assumes responsibility for some other person or thing. So there's definition, but let me give you a couple of examples in my career that I believe that you'll find to be useful and perhaps inspire you to serve in this capacity as well. The first is being a sponsor for others. Several times I've had people interested in cyber, but they didn't have a degree in cyber, maybe no degree at all, no security certifications. If you look at the job description, they would appear to be unqualified for that particular job. But what do? We met oftentimes over lunch, and I just talk about some items that might be useful for them to pursue, actions that they could choose to take. Maybe it was create a home lab. Maybe it was attend a cyber webinar or join a upcoming security department meeting, or maybe even do a job shadowing where they would spend the day with several members of our department just to learn a little bit better and appreciate what those teams were responsible for. And none of this cost them anything but their time. But what I saw in many, but not all cases, that led to them becoming a qualified member of our teams, the teams that I was privileged to lead. Both the person being sponsored and the team and the company and the cybersecurity industry won in cases where they took action and applied themselves and earned a job on the security team. So the second and final example is when I had a sponsor. It was my immediate supervisor, my leader, and to be honest, I didn't know this is what was happening at the time, but in our one-on-one meetings, I always come in with an agenda to update her on what was most important and where I would need her help. And I'll never forget once she looked at me and she said, Russell, I've been thinking how I can best serve you. And that took me by surprise. Wait, how you can serve me? That's not normally how this works, but please tell me more. And she said, I think what I'd like to do is share with you topics that I'm discussing with my peers, other senior vice presidents in the organization, people responsible for leading the organization, not just their respective departments. How could I say anything but yes, please? So we put that on our agenda, and she would share topics and risks and challenges and ultimately decisions that were made and things that I would never be able to know or be exposed to in my wildest imaginations. Little did I know how well that would help me when about a year after that, I was invited to be the chief information officer. And instead of being a direct report to her, I was on the org chart, a peer to one of the best leaders I've ever served under in my entire career. And I know that made me be even more effective in that role because of that intentional sponsorship and investment in me. So what's the call to action? What's the thing that I want you to consider doing? First, find someone who's interested in the things that you're interested in and sponsor them, help them out, give them advice, give them things that they can do to position themselves to realize the goals they have for themselves. And then find someone in your life who might be willing to sponsor you as well. And I know that if you choose to do that, if you choose to take action, I know that that can be a way where you can get wisdom as cheaply as you can. Hey, I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe so you can be notified of future videos just like this. And I'll see you again next time.